Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions bullish in a bull market still. We're seeing the momentum of that bull market now currently at 7. The upper edge of the range is typically around 5. We've seen though in the last few years this be extremely volatile. In fact, to the downside, this bearish number was like -20 for quite a while. So some good positive strength here and momentum on this. That's a good thing and potentially a short-term bad thing. We'll talk about that because we now are extended to the upside. We're seeing really strong patterns here, buying into those pullbacks, continuing to see that. Momentum is now in this upper range. It can still go a little bit higher, as we've talked about. If we get kind of a push or two higher in the next 2 or 3 days, then we may see some retracement back in the markets right here from these levels. So it is a kind of a proceed with caution type of area in the market in terms of adding new positions or tightening stops or taking profits or however it is that you're managing those particular trades. These are market conditions that are really good right now, but again, that they don't stay good forever. Excuse me, that upper end of that range, this is where we've been sitting. It's been kind of an odd pattern right here. You can see traditionally in the last year, once we reach those upper levels, we get some kind of a pullback and then another pullback, another move higher once we get back to these levels. This has been really strange and choppy over this really the last 2 or 3 months. And so whatever that means, all it means currently is that we are at the upper end of that range. We just haven't had really any catalyst, it seems like, that's going to pull us back. This halfway point on this particular chart, on this sentiment chart over here, if you go to market trends and then you go to the sentiment tab, that's where this is located. So we're seeing that. We're seeing buy-sell ratio also pretty strong right here, but again, it's starting to widen out. These widening areas, you do see continued momentum, but they also become locations where you can get a little bit of a pullback here. So let's talk. That's the bullish news. The bearish news is that we still have this inverted yield curve. We've talked about that, where typically, we need to see that yield curve looking a little bit more like this, where the short end of that yield curve is down and the long end is high, versus an inverted yield curve that looks like that. That's an economic situation that needs to remedy itself, and whether that is through the Fed monetary policy, the economy, it just has to remedy itself in order for the market conditions to be really bullish. So some caution at these levels currently. If we look at SPY, one of the things to also watch for, SPY, not SOY, is this this upper end of this range, and then starting to watch for some of these, starting to see this to pull back into that buy zone. If we start to see this short-term trend tick over into the red, to the down, then that's one of the breaks in the trend to be aware of. We're just not there yet, but we are working towards that upper end of that range, and it's just really stair-stepping nicely. It's got this pattern where it's breaking out and then retesting and then moving higher. So any pullback in the market right here is still going to be a buying location, even back down to this support area, where we could see a day or 2 or 3 of support. We may see a move higher, a little blow off top here, a day or 2 or 3 higher before we see that, but we're in that zone. We're in that area, so be aware of that. Muscle stocks currently, some new buys in this list. This is a nice looking pattern in terms of potential for a breakout. It's got a good setup. It's sitting right at this upper range. It just needs a good confirmation bar to head and close higher than that. And some nice momentum on this stock. It's been a pretty high flyer this year, from 2 up to 5. Year to date is pretty nice return there so far. And it looks like it could potentially have more run to the upside if it breaks out right here. A couple other patterns to look through: medical bio, potential breakout candidate here as well. INOD also, you're seeing some, we had that rally, some good move higher in those last 2 bars that we looked at. We saw selling towards the end of the day. That could have been near or after the Fed yesterday as well. If we go through the rest, there was another 2 or 3 stocks that I wanted to look through. INSP, this is also a nice potential breakout candidate. It's real tight consolidation. Just needs a little better looking confirmation bar right here. SNOW, this was one that was a good solid confirmation bar here and here. Didn't have quite get to that breakout zone, but you're getting these higher lows and then confirmation, so could potentially see a breakout on SNOW. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.